so what we're going to cover first is how to replace images in projects for the DSK content pack. And I've got one loaded up here that has this woman's face in it. So I'm going to choose the layer that her face is on. I can see that down here. And once I have the layer selected, I can select the object itself. You can either click on this select button. These pink buttons are for the objects. The green buttons are for the layers that the objects are on. And the workspace is for the overall project. So starting with the pink buttons, I'm going to select the object, which is this woman's face. Okay, and then I'm going to, once I have it selected, I could actually go and go to the properties. So I'm going to right click on it and choose properties. Okay, now that brings up this panel here. And this panel allows me to do all kinds of things. But what I'm interested in is changing the picture's face, because they've already done this work of sizing it, and you know, it's on a layer with erase around it. So rather than having to reinvent all that, I'm just going to go to where it says stroke, and I'm going to choose texture, and now I can see the original image. And this is where I will be dragging and dropping my own image, is in this box right here. So if I go to wherever I have a picture, like my high school football, baseball in this case, could be any image. Okay. It's probably not the best image, but whatever. Alright. So now, if you want to change where it says caption here, you find the layer that has that on it. You can see it's at the bottom here. And once again, I'm going to select the object. And with text, the text that was generated in Animator Compositor, what you can actually do is use this pick tool over here and click on the actual object. And now I can type something in. Now, this is really important. Pay close attention to this. I'm at the very end of the timeline right now. Okay? When I load these projects up, they by default usually go to the end of the timeline. What that means is anything I create that's new, you know, like let's say I go and just create a paint stroke like that. That's only going to live for that very last frame of this effect. Meaning if I go back even one field, it disappears. See that? So that means that if I do make any changes at the end, like I'm about to backspace out all those letters, if I start to create a new word, it won't show up until the very last frame. So the point is, if you're going to make any changes to existing objects, don't get rid of the object altogether. Just modify it. So I'm going to leave that C in there for just 1 second, and then I'm going to type in, you know, my name or something, and then I'm going to go back and get rid of that C. And the reason for that is it just keeps that object's placeholder there. Otherwise, if I would have gotten rid of all of it, it would have just disappeared off of my project, you know, and I would have been starting over again, and it would have only shown up for one field.
And just when you got rid of that little spray can, you just right-clicked on it, right?
Yeah, right-click. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty much changing these objects. You know, everything in here can be changed. So if I didn't want this to be red, I could click on this. I can see the layer. I've expanded this layer, so I'm doing this a different way than I did a minute ago with the select. I'm actually just expanding the layer that it's on and then finding it in that layer. I can also get properties from here.
Okay. Now how do we get this on the actual screen?
Okay, if you wanted to be viewing this on a physical monitor, you could go to Workspace. And then go to Video. And you should be seeing it on a physical monitor now. I like to turn alpha.
Just like the other one, when we go to a picture, show preview, this one you just do video.
Right.
Alright.
And you can turn alpha on if you want to see whatever source is selected underneath. In my case, it's frame 1.
And if I want to save it and take it to my specific folder so I can show it on air, then I just drag and put the save now into my folder.
Right. So if you want to use this in a live environment, first,
Yeah, exactly. Live or recorded show. I want to just use this picture now.
yeah, so you'd go to your folder and you'd basically, if you wanted to, you could rename the file right now. So I'm going to rename this. I'm going to call this Bandera Bulldog. And I could hit save now, but I'm going to use the drag and drop. So that means I'm dragging and dropping from above the save now button into the folder that I want to save it to.
And you said save now goes where?
Save now will either overwrite the original project, or it will go into the Pan Am projects folder. So like, once this is finished, I'll show you what I mean. So in your bins directory, if you go all the way back to bins, you'll see a folder called Pan Am. And inside of that, you're going to see a folder called Projects. Okay. Any questions about this project?
No, we're good so far.
Okay. Alright, we're going to do a new project. And I'm going to launch, let's go into that DSK1 again. And let's look at these names that kick out. Alright, so here's a project where a layer is animated and brings out like some objects on the layer. You can see the animations by opening up these little plus signs, and then all these little keyframes are in here. You can adjust these keyframes if you want, but they're created anytime something changes at a different point in time.
I mean, these concepts pretty much work on anything that's out there in the system, right? Like to add names and move pictures in and out.
Yes. So we're going to change this person's name, and in order to do that, again, I'm going to click on Pick, and then I'm going to click in here on that actual letter, and I'm going to backspace out everything but that first letter. Okay.
Okay.
Now you can see that it's kept all the animation and all the other properties, the color, all that.
And if you want to resize your writing, it's just in.
Yep, just right click on the writing and choose properties.
Okay, 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 got it, got it, got it.
And then once again, if you want to save it out, just drag and drop.
And if I want to make it go in faster or slower, you just drag out the timeline.
Yep. Now there's one thing to remember here. This is not real time.
Oh, okay.
So this effect actually only takes 1 second to come out and 1 second to go back in.
Okay, okay, okay. So it's really quick.
Yeah, but to answer your question, the quickest way to change how long it takes for the thing to happen would be to go to Workspace Properties. Okay, in Workspace Properties, you're going to see a duration here.
Okay,
All right, now make sure that Rescale is turned on. And then change the duration to whatever you want. If you want it to be faster, set it for 1 second. You know. Now it's going to ask you, you don't see it, but right now it's asking me on my other monitor, you know, it says I'm not going to be able to make this perfect. And then you're going to say, do the best thing that you can.
Now, when you said your other monitor,
I've got 2 monitors connected to this computer.
So just like a standard dual monitor setup, right?
Yeah.
I just open up 2 things on 2 different ones.
Correct.
So I can edit on one and see the preview on the other.
Correct.
Okay. And there's nothing special about that. It's just the standard, just like I do with all the other ones. Just plug in the other monitor and just select.
Well, there is something special about that. If you want to have, like, say you want to have Animator open on one and the switcher open on the other, or the editor, what you would do is go to the Start, Programs, and then go to GlobeCaster, and you're going to see in here Applications, and then you've got your 2 monitors, Monitor 1 Applications, Monitor 2 Applications. A lot of people will just copy this folder, like each one of these folders, to each monitor that they're working with. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just see how your screen's laid out?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? All those shortcuts. Kind of embarrassing.
No, it's good.
Okay, let's see here. So, if we want to look at those effects.
I would recommend using this outline because this is what I use. Like, this is how I pretty much.
I'm sorry, say that again. Do I recommend what?
The layout you have right now.
Oh.
Recommended that they get different, better layout because this is what I use, and so far I've been having no problem.
Yeah, this is fine. Yeah. So we'll just load up these effects. Take a look at them. Or not.
And then you know that that right next to the where it says FX, and there's that little line on top that you always hit green that kind of connects them together.
Yeah.
I'm like not too sure on exactly how that works and what that does.
Okay.
Like I play with it, but I don't know if I'm doing it right.
Okay. So when you load up an effect that has a graphic element, like this effect, you talking about this yellow light here?
Yeah, that just connects it to the next, right?
Right. So what that's telling me is that this effect requires the resources of this DSK. So if I were running a DSK here, right? So that's running. As soon as I hit this effect, it's going to kill this DSK. See that?
Yeah.
So there's the DSK, San Rafael, California. All right, as soon as I run this effect, San Rafael goes away. And the reason for that is this effect has a downstream key element, and it requires the resources of this DSK1.
So now to change that picture of the GlobeCast behind it, just go drop it into your DSK?
No, the GlobeCaster image right now in this is actually just my program source.
Yeah, so I can drop another picture in that and that'll switch that up.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So that's something you want to use as a transition going from maybe like camera 1 to camera 2, or going from a show to like right before, I don't know, music or commercial. I can do something like this and then go to the commercial.
Yes, you can set it up that way. Hold on real quick. Hey. I'm on the phone. What's up? Okay. Okay, I'll call you back. All right. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so yes, if you wanted to use this effect, now this effect is not built as a transitional effect.
Sure. Like the one that I always play with is that bouncing basketball. I mean, it could be anything. It kind of comes into the screen, bounces, and it switches the scene.
Right. This
I
is.
want to use that, so when he's saying, okay, we're going to go to commercial, see you soon, you know, have this or some kind of an effect come on the screen, bounce out, and the next shot is a commercial.
Yeah. This is what's called a graphic wipe.
Graphic wipe, okay.
Okay. Now, you can make your own, or you can use the ones in our little library there. I'm trying to think. So, I could show you how to make your own graphical wipe. Part of it is understanding these effects and what they are. So, like this effect right here is just a DVE with a graphic. Now, if you wanted to make this into a transitional effect, you could turn on the lock button while it's running. This lock button is going to lock the cut and auto buttons together. So as soon as I hit auto, it's going to get rid of this effect and take me to my preview. Well, there's a delay there. So never mind that. So let's see here. Graphic wipes. I could spend a little time showing you that if you want. What else did we talk about?
The quick one is also like on that live, strobe, and freeze.
Yep.
Like I click on those, but I don't really see what they do.
Okay.
How will I benefit with that?
Okay, so if you have a moving video source, like let me load one up here.
Oh, you said videos too. Yeah, I want to know how to put. It's actually more important to put actual video up and show it. What format needs to be and how do I get it in?
Okay, you mean from files?
From files. maybe it's like a 30-second clip, or it's a 2 minute quick interview that we can maybe just throw in and out. Can we do that?
Yes, it's kind of trial and error on what files you'll be able to bring in.
QuickTime file.
Yeah, the first thing you're going to need to do is be able to play the file back from the host computer. So,
Sure, so you know it's playing.
right, so you know the computer has the correct codecs installed in order to play it back.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you're sure the computer can play it back, the next place you're going to take it is into something called the batch digitize section of editor.
Like a best example would be when we're doing news and I bring the little arm to the right or the left of my anchor. Maybe I can play a little 30-second clip when he's saying there's a fire down the street, for example.
Right. Okay, I'm going to switch over here to Animator. Computer's going really slow all of a sudden for some reason.
I'm sorry for just throwing random stuff out there. I'm just whatever's coming in my head when I need it kind of comes out.
Right. Well, I'm the same way, to be honest with you. It does go a little smoother when we have a set list of things we want to cover.
Do you guys offer like an actual class where someone can come in and sit down for a couple hours, or no?
No, unfortunately not. I mean, if you want to come to St. Louis.
Where are you guys at? LA?
No, we're in St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh.
So, if you could make it over here, we'd do that.
You never know. And if I don't want to use my a regular computer keyboard, because you know how it kind of links up to the monitor, like I can use F1, F2, F3 to do all the things.
Yeah.
Can I just get a regular standard, just a mixer and plug in just to the computer or the GlobeCaster if I want to just have an actual?
If you want to have if you want to have an actual switcher, you have to get either the CS100, which is an option we offer, or the CS1000, and they're both, capable of switching the live feeds, but they're proprietary. You can't get them at Best Buy or anything.
Are they really pricey or?
Well, I mean, the smaller unit lists at about $1,900.
Okay.
The unit lists at $6,000. But I could probably make a pretty good price on the larger one. We have a couple of larger ones in B stock right now. Okay. I'll show you how to bring in a file. I gotta tell you, this GlobeCaster really slowed down all of a sudden. Let's see here.
I think if we do this, and then we'll go over the graphic wipe real quick.
Yep.
And then just one quick time of how to actually take that picture, and you know how you like resize it into the box.
Mm-hmm.
And then that should be good for today.
Okay. Okay, here comes the switcher. Okay, we're going to go into editor. And this is to get files in. And then you go to the batch. Did you see that?
Batch, right?
Yeah, batch. Alright. Now this is in this list here, or this empty list is where you'd bring those files. So I've got some really big files here. It's going to take a minute to generate. That's one thing about...
Kodak Play, I know, is it QuickTime okay or no?
Well, you know, it depends. I mean, QuickTime and AVIs, and they're kind of like generic names for media files. It's kind of like car and truck. You know, I mean,
Okay.
so maybe, maybe not.
So what is it like? What is the GlobeCaster like?
It likes older stuff because the files that when we made this importer a couple years ago, they hadn't been updated. So earlier revisions, uncompressed files it likes.
So nothing like MPEG-4 or something like that?
Well, I don't want to say no. I mean, it's really you just got to try it and find one that works for you.
I gotta try different formats, see what works better.
Yeah, like what I would do what I always tell people is take a project, you know, like if you're going to be creating these files locally there, like in Final Cut or
Exactly.
Premiere or whatever, take a project or make something that's like only like a couple seconds long, and then save it out in different ways.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then bring them in and see which one works best. So I'm gonna bring this Tom Waits onto here. I'm gonna try anyway. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for, where it says indexing media file. That's a good sign. Now my computer is acting so slow, I don't know why, but that's a good thing if you get that to come up. I won't make you wait for that. I don't know why it's going to take so long, but basically once it's in there, once you'll see it in this little area down here, and there's a start button literally right behind where this word media is. Do you see it?
Time-lapse record button?
No, it just says start. Are you in the batch digitize right now?
I am. No, I have the screen open. Batch digitizer. No, I'm in the GlobeCaster editor.
Oh, click on batch.
Not letting me click on it. It's not clickable.
Really? Do you not have a time machine? That's silly. Okay, so let's see. In editor, click on configure.
Where's editor?
Okay, you're in editor right now, I think.
Yeah, I'm in, exactly, yeah. Configure, so right click on it.
Yeah, just click on configure. And then go to installed cards.
I'm missing something here. So I'm on editor right now.
Right.
Okay.
Do you see a configure button in editor?
Yeah, okay, there you go. Okay. Install cards, okay.
Yeah. Do you see time machine? Should be in slot like 101 through 107.
I see wrap engine, frame store, clip grab. No time machine.
Okay. So what that means is your Trinity or your GlobeCaster does not have the time machine option. So in order to bring in clips like we were just talking about, you have to add that option.
Okay, so it's just it's another card?
Yes.
And that's something I can do, just order the card and pop it in?
Correct. It's actually a card and drives, like hard drives.
Okay, how do I get that and what does it run?
Okay, well, you can order it. It's basically the card itself is like $1,800. The drives are going to be probably around 700.
So what is about 100?
700. The hard drives. So it's like, it's like a $2,500 deal.
Just to be able to play video?
To be able to record and play back two streams of video live, yeah. The other option is just to play it in from your Final Cut machine.
But I can't resize that to it, I'll just play the whole screen, right?
The Final Cut machine, you should have an output, like a video output out of that machine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm saying that signal coming in from Final Cut, can I just put it anywhere I want on the screen, like customize it, like it's one of those little effects, or no?
I'm not sure I understand your question, but yeah, you mean it would be a source. It would be like, coming in on one of your inputs.
Well, it'd be in like that, so the whole screen would go away and that source would take over.
Well, you could, I mean, this GlobeCaster image you're seeing right here could be a Final Cut image, like coming from your Final Cut editing machine.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that machine has an output on it. You could just take it directly into the GlobeCaster.
Alright, so let's skip this then. So I gotta talk about.
Okay, let's talk about the wipe effect with graphics real quick.
Yeah, wipe and then the graphics.
Okay. So Animator Compositor is where you're going to make this effect. So I'm going to load that up.
I mean, we paid close to like $9,500 for this system, so that wouldn't be in there.
Man, these things, they go for as much as 25, 30 grand.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's just an option.
But who do I need to? Because I didn't purchase this, and I just want to make sure that when we did everything got done right. Who do I need to speak with so I can check out to see exactly what's in my machine?
Well, we can look at the ship log and see what went into it, and also look at quotes and purchase orders. Let's say
Is there someone that can, like in accounting, check it out for me, or I can talk to them?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I can probably find out. Okay, so let's talk about transitional effects,
Okay.
or wipes with graphics.